Lastly, I have not mentioned to any farmer in Nakuru, but I'd like to mention to you, my viewer, and also Mrs. Kariuki. I always forget talking about... Subscribers, we are happy again to be hosted here in Nakuru by Madam Susan Kariuki on her farm. She is doing layers at 3 different stages in a story building. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, kindly hit the subscribe button. You'll always get a success story a week. You'll always get 3 lessons a week. Now we've listened to Madam Susan's story, or we listened to it. But there are few things I would wish to advise her, and you as well, so that when you start your farm, you can always avoid such mistakes. So Madam Susan, I have seen your farm. We've gone around, just briefly. But there are a few things I would like you to do so that you can improve on them. You talked about the health of your bird being a challenge. You're suffering from maybe the problems of diseases, and when you go to buy the medication, you're given this medication, it doesn't work, you're told try this one, try this one, try this one, right? And you complained of most of the agrovetes promoting drugs instead of giving you the correct drug. Now, for you to control diseases, you can be able to control diseases without using medication. All right? So that if the disease comes, it's just by bad luck or it's airborne. Right? I've seen you don't have a foot bath. All right? In every door, you must have a foot bath. If you cannot if you cannot construct using concrete, just get a basin or a trough. A trough that when you dip your foot inside your gumboot, it can be able to at least have water fill your gumboot up to 3/4 way. All right?
Yes.
So in that trough, you'll put water and the disinfectant of your choice. All right? Then you'll keep changing when it's dirty or when it's soiled. Anytime you enter the flock house, you must dip your feet in that trough before you enter the flock house. In every flock house, you must put a disinfectant trough. All right? That's very important. You need to get a sanitizer, a hand sanitizer. Most farmers only put the troughs, but they forget sanitizing their hands. Forgetting that it's your hands that touch a lot of things. When you go to the market or the supermarket to look for meat or to look for eggs, you always sample, you touch, you know. Some diseases like coryza are transmitted by touch and are also transmitted on the eggshell. So once you touch that eggshell, then you come back to your farm and you touch the feeder, you've already brought the bacteria on that feeder. All right? So when you have the food disinfectant, also have a hand sanitizer. Just walk with it in your pocket, or you can put it just at the entry of the house, so that you disinfect your legs, also disinfect your hands. All right? Very important. I'm happy. Of the farmers I've visited, it's only Madam Kariuki that has protective gear. You can see she has gumboots and she has an overall. And that one, I congratulate you. Kindly maintain the color.
Thank you.
Don't change to another color. All right? Then I also happen to look at the other flock house, and I've just to mention something about the laying boxes. Your laying boxes have to face away from the light. If this is the window grill, these laying boxes should not face the window. They should be below the window, facing the opposite side. And they should have something like a curtain to cover it from much light entering. So that the chicken, they love laying in a dark environment. All right? That's very important. Every farmer in Nakuru, very few farmers, I have found them using the correct drinkers. Your drinkers, like this one, here, this is not the correct drinker you're supposed to use.
Why?
Why I'm saying so is the bird is training so much to access the water. Okay? You can see, for example, that chicken, how it is taking the water. You see, it's really straining to get the water. All right? And then, you know, chicken are attracted to red. All right? That's why you see, when you buy the commercial drink and the commercial feeder, the base is red. Okay? When you buy a drinker, I want you to buy a drinker that you can suspend to be in line with the back line of the chicken. When the chicken drinks water, the water doesn't spill. The chicken doesn't strain to get the water. all right? Then it's easy to clean, all right? So you can see your drinkers, already you've cut the jerry can from a higher level. Already again you've suspended it. So how can the chicken access the water? The chicken mostly is choked while drinking the water, and that will affect it, because if you want your chicken to grow very fast, it has to get a luxurious growth. Easy access of food, correct thing you've done to the feeders, that's the correct thing. Do the same for the drinkers. Get the correct drinkers with the base, and then suspend them in line with the back of the chicken. All right? Yes. And maybe the other thing that you do, I would wish you to increase the amount of litter on your farm. Like you've seen, you've checked through, some of your floor is being exposed. So try to do that, cover it, and it will be good of essence to you. I don't know if you always vaccinate your chicken.
I always do.
So if you always do, then do it on time. All right? Always do it in the morning or late in the evening, but I recommend early in the morning, before the sun is hot. All right?
Yes.
Then you talked about collecting your eggs in the morning and collecting your eggs in the at least 3 times a day,
yes,
which is quite correct as well. You can maintain that. That is good. The other thing maybe you'll do is minimize stress. I want you to separate the farm from the other activities in the home, so that the farm has limited access. Only you or the person who is assisting you to work on the farm can access the farm. Don't allow in visitors. Someone comes to see you, oh, I want to see your project. You bring the person to the project. No, don't do that. Just show them photos on your phone or even a small video somewhere. The other thing I would like to note is you don't have curtains. It's very important you have curtains.
Why?
For your chicken, especially at this stage. Why? Because sometimes we usually have rain that is characterized with wind. So the rain then is blown inside the structure. All right? So when it is raining with such drift winds, you always roll down the curtain. Then the temperatures at the place here are not that hot. At night, the temperatures quite fall. So when you have your curtain, it's good that now you drop it halfway. You see? So that the chicken can have also some warmth. You're doing all this just to provide warmth. Lastly, I have not mentioned to any farmer in Nakuru, but I'd like to mention to you, my viewer, and also Mrs. Kariuki, I always forget talking about egg stimulation. I don't know if you know something called egg stimulation.
I don't know.
You should increase the lighting hours of your chicken, especially those ones that are laying, so that you can get more eggs. What I'm trying to say here is, when the chicken are being brooded, we usually brood them with light, and then at some point we shut down the light, they start sleeping in the dark. Like I'm assuming these chickens sleep in the dark.
Yes.
So once they start laying, you start extending the lighting hours. You switch on the light and shut it down and switch off. Like in one day when they start laying, you start slowly by slowly. For example, you switch on the lights up to 8, then you switch them off. Then in the morning, you switch on the lights at 5. So when they continue laying and reach around week 25, then now you extend the lighting hours, you switch on the lights up to 9. Then you switch off the lights, then you wake up at 4 and switch on the lights. So that the chicken have got an extended lighting period. We usually recommend that during this time that you have increased the lighting, you give them greens. But it's not a must. Just provide that extra lighting for the chicken to have a continuous digestion and for you to have more eggs. You'll realize that when you extend the lighting hours, which we call it scientifically, we call it egg stimulation. You'll find that, or stimulating the chicken, you'll find that your eggs or egg count will increase by doing that. All right? Then minimize things like noise on the farm. Always keep records. Do you keep records?
I only do when chicken has
starting to lay. She only keeps records.
Not laying, but when they are chick, when I'm brooding, that's when I do.
When you bring chicken or chicks to the farm,
I start.
You buy a black book for that flock. Every week you weigh the chicken. All right? Not all of them. You don't weigh all of this 500 chicken. You just take a sample. You can weigh only 5 chicken or 3. All right? So you just pick from that corner 3, you weigh. From that corner 3, you weigh. From that corner 3, you weigh, and you get the average. Don't weigh all this chicken. No, that is not possible. So you record that weight.
I thought you are saying to how much I am using to feed the chicken, or how much they cost when I'm feeding.
Okay. What happens is you buy a black book. You will write the name of, give that batch a name. You can say batch A, or you can call them Virginia, that flock. Then you start the records. You bought them on this date. You bought them at this match. All right? They arrived on the farm. If you bought 200, I bought 200. They arrived on the farm 190. 10 mortalities. Then you start feeding them week 1, 500 grams. All right? That's feed. Then you go to the next line, mortality. Mortality is, you write every day the date of that day you come to the farm. You look at the chicken, you write a report. You say, they are looking healthy, but there's some sign of disease. So that, if you call me to come and help your chicken are sick, I'll say, help me with the records. When I look at your records, the history, I can be able to judge when the rain started beating you. And what, according to the report I'm getting, it can be signs of this disease, for example. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, what I'm just trying to say is, very important records are like weighing. When you weigh your chicken, you're able to know if you're giving the right feed or the right amount, or you're doing well. Because when the chicken are young like this, you cannot be able to judge whether, because you're not seeing eggs, so you cannot know whether they're okay or not. So you just weigh a sample, then you have your records. That is very important. Then keep records of mortalities, and then also keep records of the expenses. You know, when you have a record of chicken, you're able to know the amount of feed you'll use. But you can be giving chicken feed for 200, and yet they have reduced by 20. So this extra 20 is a waste. All right?
Yes.
I hope you've learned something.
I have learned something.
And you'll keep watching more videos on our YouTube channel, and you'll get more tips. Okay?
Yes.
Thank you so much for hosting us. Unfortunately, there's corona, we can't shake hands, but we'll do like this. Thank you so much. All right.